Hello. Before beginning today's topic, I'd like to share with you that you are a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's topic is don't waste time emotionally. So the last video we saw was don't waste time physically. And we went deep into all the physical ways that we can start influencing and bettering our day to day. How to physically not waste time. But now we have to look at what makes matter. What makes, the idea that something's physical is all the non-physical. To say that if you want to affect what's physical, you have to get down to the like the minuscule, the emotions. Okay, we've talked about in depth how chemicals is what everything is based on. What prevents you from going to talk to that pretty girl? Simply the anxiety, those chemicals that create anxiety and unworthiness inside of you. For those chemicals, you do not go to speak to that beautiful girl. So what does that mean? The things that control us, the things that govern us, are our emotions. The things that govern what we physically do is our emotions, is our non-physical aspect. So what are we going to do? If we want to physically start doing more, we have to emotionally start feeling better. We have to be above the environment, our external life. And how do we do this? By living from the heart. And what do we do when we're living from the heart? We maintain an elevated emotion. Last video I talked about working intelligently. I painted a picture about individuals that break rock and stone for a living who work 12 to 18 hours under the sun. Many people believe the answer to their problems is work harder. And I painted a very clear picture that working harder is not always the case. The answer is working intelligently, paying people to do your thing. I talked about Dan Locke. Dan Locke told a story about his millionaire friend, and they had a meeting. Dan Locke shows up very early to all his meetings. He showed up to his friend's office, and he was blown away. He saw his friend mowing the lawn. Why is this just riveting for someone who's like awake and just kind of a little bit money driven like I am and Dan Locke and probably many others that would hear this? Would you ever catch, let me ask you, would you ever catch Bill Gates mowing a lawn? Other than, let's say, that once a year because he just wants to feel like a regular man, right? Do you think we're ever going to see Donald Trump mowing a lawn? I don't see my father ever mowing lawn. Why? Not because they're lower, not because they're more than people that mow lawns, simply because they know one thing. Time is valuable. Time is valuable. That time spent mowing the lawn, depending on your property, surely if we're talking in this realm, then you have a big property, right? So those 30 to an hour that you spend mowing that lawn, you could have spent looking for new providers, looking for better pricing, looking for new customers, looking how to just looking for new markets even. So those are all the physical things, right? But that's all to say that we have to work intelligently. In what way better, what more intelligence than your heart? What is the most powerful instrument that you have to access right now? What's your strongest instrument? It's your heart. So with this, we can begin to emotionally mold our day. We begin to carry an elevated emotion. I carry an elevated emotion. That's all this light that you see through me around me. So I go and I'm speaking to prospects. Let's say that I get neglected, or I don't meet any good prospects, and the common person will feel chemically will feel discouraged. Chemically, I mean, let's stop thinking about like the thoughts that go through our brain that you're this all being. I'm not saying that you're not amazing, but let's just get over ourselves and about how amazing you are and start internalizing that power and really like become amazing, not just accept that you are amazing and surrender your amazingness. Use your amazing and just step into your heart, because now if I'm going out to get a loan for my great business idea and I go to 10 banks, I get rejected. I mean, the common person chemically is going to get rejected. If you don't believe me, let me tell you why. The brain, because the size of the neocortex, the brain operates in electrical signals. And because of the size of the neocortex, a negative thought sends an electrical signal to the body. The body operates in chemical signals, the brain and electrical. So an electrical signal is sent to the chemical machine. The chemical machine responds and creates what that signal sent. So in the case of something negative, like constantly being rejected to your loan, okay, the body's going to feel chemically those negative thoughts and chemically send up a signal. The body's going to pick up those chemical signals and is going to electrically create more thoughts based on how you're feeling. So now what? Well, how do I get out of this? Well, that's why I'm here for you today, to tell you that you can, using the heart, create an elevated emotion. You can calibrate. You can calibrate your internal state at very like with almost no. I mean, imagine a feather falling right now. That's how it feels. That's how much effort it takes for me to consciously be creating an emotional state that's going to be above any external situation. So what is that now? What does that give me? It gives me power. I'm an alchemist. My external reality doesn't govern my internal state. Now I'm not working harder, I'm working intelligently. What what outcomes what causes, what outcomes do we get from carrying an elevated emotion? Well, we know that our brain under distress does not think well, right? It's closed, it's narrow. So now you're an elevated emotion. Your body and your heart and your brain are in harmony. You have brain and heart coherence. What does that mean? Well, really, I mean all infinite possibilities in the positive side and the positive spectrum, but I'll tell you my experience. One time I was presented with debt and I owed two of my bosses money, my direct bosses money, and my credit cards were maxed out. I owed money also to like an ex-girlfriend of mine and two other coworkers. I didn't along the way I kept thinking unconsciously, the unconscious thought kept coming, Fernando, if this doesn't go your way, what are you, like, you don't know what you're gonna do. And you know what? To my amazement, it didn't go my way. And you know what was so amazing and why I have so much faith and why I'm in front of you today? Because I didn't feel anger, anxiety. My brain automatically thought in the positive. The first thing I did, I sent email out to my investors, in this case, some friends and my two bosses, and I sent them emails and I told them, I set out like a payment plan. I was like, this is my situation, this is what I'm gonna do to get your money back. Not for a second did I go and petty myself. No, there was no negative emotion. Why is working intelligent important, and why is maintaining an elevated emotion the best way to do that? Well, because look at what happens when you are above negative emotions. You're going to think better, more clearly, you're going to have more energy, and you're going to go and get it. So this video is, do not waste time emotionally. Get over it. Let's say that you're not living from the heart and you have something negative that happened. Okay, it happened. So are you gonna keep living that idea? Every time you have a memory, that memory, there's a pathway in the brain. So every time you have a memory, you're constantly firing off those signals, the exact same signals. So what happens? No, you don't become dull to the memory to the point that it doesn't affect you. No, on the other side, you're living in a closed circuit. If you don't wake up, if you don't have a vision of the future, you're constantly reliving the past, and that is your paradigm. And through that, through your memories, life is going to bring something more to you, more and more. Everything life is bringing to you, everything you're bringing, attracting, is based on your past. If you're not a conscious being living from the heart. So what does this now mean? that I'm stuck. And that's maybe why we decide to just, oh yeah, I lost my business a year ago, and I'm just at this mom and pop. And no, guys, let's wake up. Let's realize we have three instruments. We have a heart, we have a brain, and we have a body. Let's use the best of these three instruments, which is the heart, and let's go and get it. And I promise you that your life is going to start changing. I hope this video has been to your liking. I hope it's been motivating. And I ask that you share topics that you wish for me to cover in the future. And also share with me, what do you do whenever you are presented with in something that can be perceived as a negative outcome in life? I'd love to hear. I love to give feedback and get feedback. Also, I invite you to share this video with your loved ones, with your mastermind group, with your best friends, with your family. And lastly, I invite you to my family. Become part of my family. We're individuals that live from the heart, and we are masters at teaching the art of living from the heart. With this membership comes 2 daily meditations, a monthly and weekly meditation as well. I hope to see you on the brighter side. Goodbye.